Imagine a world plunged into darkness after sunset. A world where flickering gas lights barely cut through the gloom, and the idea of powering an entire city with clean, instant light was just a dream. Now, imagine two men, both brilliant, both ambitious, but with visions of that future that were diametrically opposed. Their clash wasn't just about technology, it was a high stakes, ruthless battle for the very soul of the modern world. This is the story of the War of Currents. Our story begins with Thomas Alva Edison, born in Ohio in 1847. His early life was a struggle against the odds. A childhood illness left him with a profound hearing impairment, a condition that would forever shape his perception of the world. It forced him to be a keen observer, to focus inward, and to rely on his hands and his mind. Forget fancy schools, Edison's classroom was his mother's kitchen table and the pages of books he devoured. He had an insatiable curiosity, teaching himself from scientific texts. He was a true pragmatic genius, a tinkerer who learned by trying everything until something worked. His unwavering motto? Only invent things people actually want. But not all of Edison's early inventions were immediate successes. His first patented invention, an electrographic vote recorder, was a brilliant piece of engineering designed to count legislative votes quickly. However, politicians weren't interested. It was too efficient. They preferred slower, manual voting, which allowed for negotiation and vote trading. This taught Edison a harsh lesson. Undeterred, Edison pivoted. As a teenager, he'd taught himself telegraphy, the Morse code dots and dashes that formed the backbone of 19th century communication. This skill didn't just give him a job, it opened his mind to the possibilities of electrical communication and improving existing systems. His deep understanding of telegraphy led to his first significant commercial triumph, an improved stock ticker. This wasn't just a gadget, it was a revolutionary device for financial markets that earned him $40,000, a small fortune back then. This money was the spark that ignited his real dream. With his newfound capital, Edison built something groundbreaking. The world's first industrial research lab in Menlo Park, New Jersey. This wasn't just a workshop, it was an invention factory. A place where a team of skilled engineers and scientists collaborated. It was a blueprint for modern R&D, and Edison was its relentless orchestrator, ensuring every invention had market potential. Now, thousands of miles away in a remote village in what's now Croatia, another brilliant mind was taking shape. Nikola Tesla, born in 1856, came from an intellectual family. His father was a Serbian Orthodox priest, his mother, a truly ingenious inventor in her own right, crafting time-saving devices for their home. Young Nikola was an avid reader and observer. Tesla was a prodigy with an extraordinary gift, a photographic memory so vivid he could recall entire books word for word. He also experienced synesthesia, seeing flashes of light or colors whenever certain words were spoken. Unlike Edison, Tesla was formally educated, attending prestigious European universities where his theoretical brilliance shone brightly. While studying engineering at Graz Polytechnic, Tesla had a powerful revelation. He was observing a direct current DC generator, a machine that produced a steady, one-way flow of electricity. He saw it as clumsy and inefficient, generating alternating current AC only to then force it into a DC flow using spark-producing brushes. This seemed needlessly wasteful. A voice in his head told him, why not use alternating current AC directly? Its pulsing two-way flow could be far more efficient and power a new world. The idea obsessed him, causing him intense mental strain, even a nervous breakdown. Then, one day, while walking in a park in Budapest, it hit him. A full, perfect vision of an entire AC motor, complete in every detail. It was a glimpse into a revolutionary future. Beyond his genius, Tesla possessed a unique set of eccentricities. He was meticulous, compelled to walk around a building 3 times before entering, and insisted on precisely counting the steps he took. He had an extreme aversion to round objects, including pearls on women, and would obsessively clean to avoid germs. These quirks were part of his complex, brilliant mind. Word of Tesla's genius reached America. With just 4 cents in his pocket and a glowing letter of introduction from one of Edison's European partners, Tesla arrived in New York in 1884. He stepped off the boat, full of hope, eager to meet the great inventor he admired. He hoped Edison would recognize the genius of A.C. Edison. Hired Tesla immediately, impressed by his raw talent and tireless work ethic. Tesla was tasked with a colossal undertaking, redesigning Edison's inefficient DC generators and motors. He excelled, often working late into the night, making crucial advancements to the very heart of Edison's electrical system, the very system his boss would defend to the death. But Tesla, ever the visionary, tried to share his grand plan for alternating current with his new boss. He passionately explained the superiority of AC, its efficiency, its potential for long-distance power. Edison, however, wanted nothing to do with it. He had a massive financial investment in DC and saw AC as a direct threat.
Tesla, you don't understand our American humor. AC has no future here.
The rift grew wider. The final straw came with a tempting promise. Tesla claims Edison offered him $50,000, a truly staggering sum for the time, equivalent to over $1 million today, if he could significantly improve Edison's DC plants. Tesla, energized by the challenge and the promise of such a reward, worked tirelessly for months. He redesigned Edison's entire system, creating 24 different types of standard machines, each more efficient and powerful. He succeeded beyond all expectations, transforming Edison's clunky generators into marvels of electrical engineering. When Tesla finally approached Edison for payment, the famed inventor allegedly laughed him off. Edison is reported to have said,
"Tesla, you don't understand our American humor. When you become a full-fledged American, you will appreciate an American joke."
For Tesla, it was a profound betrayal, a deep insult to his genius and his work ethic. Humiliated and furious, he quit on the spot.
"I will not be the subject of American jokes, Mr. Edison. I quit."
After leaving Edison, Tesla found himself in dire straits, with no money and no prospects. Can you imagine a genius of his caliber doing manual labor? For nearly a year, he literally dug ditches in New York, working long, arduous days, his hands calloused, his mind still alight with visions of alternating current, but his body weary from the struggle for survival. But a mind like Tesla's couldn't stay buried forever. News of his remarkable AC motor and his genius reached new investors, who helped him form the Tesla Electric Company. Here, he finally built his full AC system: generators, motors, lights, the whole package. And then he found his champion, George Westinghouse. A powerful industrialist, Westinghouse immediately recognized AC's revolutionary potential. Unlike Edison, Westinghouse acquired Tesla's patents for a significant sum, securing the rights to his AC polyphase motor, considered one of his top inventions. This was a direct challenge to Edison's DC empire. Edison had his established system. Westinghouse and Tesla had a revolutionary, superior technology. The stage was set, the battle lines were drawn. The war of currents was about to explode. So, what exactly was at the heart of this war of currents? At its simplest, it was a battle over voltage, the electrical pressure that pushes current through wires. and how you handled that pressure determined everything about efficiency and cost. Whose side would you have been on in 1890? Edison's DC or Tesla's AC? Let me know in the comments. Edison's direct current, DC, was like a garden hose pushing water in one direction steadily. It was reliable, but you couldn't easily change its pressure or voltage. If you wanted to water a huge field miles away, you'd need an impossibly thick, expensive hose, and the water pressure would drop fast. This meant that to light a large city, Edison's DC system needed a power station almost every square mile. Imagine, a small power plant every few blocks, each serving only a small radius. It was incredibly expensive, inefficient, and physically limited to a very small area. He was essentially building a separate, isolated grid for each neighborhood. Tesla and Westinghouse's alternating current, AC, was the game changer. It was like a powerful river that could be funneled through smaller and smaller pipes to increase pressure. The key? A simple, ingenious device called a transformer. This allowed AC to easily step up its voltage for long distances and then step down to a safe level for homes. This meant you could generate power at one massive central station, send it at super high pressure over hundreds of miles with thin, cheap wires, and then safely deliver it to millions. AC could create a single, unified, national power grid, a truly revolutionary vision that was far more economical and scalable. The technical superiority of AC was undeniable, and Edison knew it. But he also knew he couldn't simply concede. His entire fortune, his legacy, was tied to DC. So he launched a desperate, shocking propaganda campaign. His goal? To convince the public that AC was inherently dangerous, even lethal. He used fear as his weapon, relentlessly. This fear campaign went to truly gruesome lengths. Edison's associates would publicly electrocute stray animals, dogs, cats, even horses, using AC to prove its lethality. These weren't scientific experiments. They were staged spectacles, designed to horrify and terrify the public into rejecting AC. Edison even secretly backed an engineer named Harold P. Brown. Brown, a lean man with a narrow face and a stern, almost fanatical expression, became the public face of the anti-AC campaign. He traveled across the country, conducting these macabre shows, carefully manipulating the voltage and conditions to always make AC appear more deadly than DC. Edison's desperation intensified. Though he had once been a vocal opponent of capital punishment, he saw an opportunity to link AC irrevocably with death. He heavily lobbied for the adoption of the electric chair as a more humane method of execution for condemned prisoners, explicitly recommending it be powered by alternating current. In 1890, the first execution by electric chair took place. William Kemmler was convicted of murder. Despite his lawyers arguing against the new method, the execution went forward. It was a horrific spectacle, botched and prolonged, and instead of a humane death, it left observers horrified. Edison's cynical campaign had its first grim success in branding AC as lethal. The campaign culminated in one of the most infamous and tragic moments of the era, the electrocution of Topsy the elephant in 1903. Topsy, an abused circus elephant, was sentenced to death after killing several keepers. Edison's associates seized the opportunity for a final, public demonstration of AC's supposed lethality. Topsy was fed carrots laced with potassium cyanide, fitted with wooden sandals lined with copper and draped with wires, and then electrocuted by an AC source. This horrific act was filmed by Edison's company, a gruesome spectacle meant to be the ultimate, undeniable proof of AC's danger. It was a desperate, cruel, and ultimately futile attempt to win a war already being lost. But even as Edison staged these horrors, the tide was already turning. The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago was a colossal event, showcasing the technological marvels of the age. And the most coveted contract was the right to light the entire fair. Edison's company bid over $500,000 for their DC system. George Westinghouse, with Tesla's AC patents, saw his chance. He dramatically underbid Edison, offering to light the entire fair for a mere $399,000. It was a bold move, and it worked. Westinghouse won the contract, and Tesla's AC system was about to be showcased on the grandest stage imaginable. The fair became known as the White City, a dazzling, magical spectacle of AC technology. Thousands upon thousands of light bulbs powered by Tesla's system shone day and night, transforming the fairgrounds into an ethereal wonderland. Visitors were utterly amazed by the sheer brilliance and reliability of the light. This wasn't just a spectacle, it was undeniable public proof that AC was safe, reliable, and incredibly efficient on a massive scale. Edison's fear campaign, his gruesome demonstrations, crumbled under the weight of this technological triumph. The public had seen the future, and it glowed with alternating current. The final decisive blow came with the Niagara Falls Power Project. Tesla had dreamed of harnessing the fall's immense power since childhood. The potential to turn that raw force into electricity for an entire region was an engineer's ultimate dream. This project was a monumental undertaking, both financially and technically. Many financiers and engineers were initially skeptical, fearing the immense cost and the untested scale of long-distance AC transmission. But George Westinghouse, backed by engineers like Benjamin G. Lamb and William Stanley, put his full faith in Tesla's system. Westinghouse and his team ultimately designed the powerful generators, but at the heart of the entire system were Tesla's revolutionary patents. 9 of his 13 key AC patents were directly applied to the Niagara Falls project, a testament to his foundational contribution. On November 16, 1896, flip of a switch, the power surged from Niagara Falls, traveled those 26 miles, and finally, majestically, lit up the city of Buffalo. It was a victory for science, for ingenuity, and for the tireless vision of Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse. This spectacular feat was utterly impossible with direct current. This victory proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that AC was the future of long-distance power transmission and the foundation of a national power grid. The war of currents was, unofficially, over. Even Edison's company, now General Electric, would eventually embrace alternating current. But don't think Edison just faded away. Far from it. Despite losing the war, he continued to be a prolific inventor, racking up an astonishing 1,093 US patents during his lifetime. He refined the phonograph, developed early motion picture cameras and projectors, and even created the alkaline storage battery. He was a master of the practical, constantly improving everyday life. During World War I, he even advised the US Navy on torpedo mechanisms and anti-submarine devices, a testament to his enduring ingenuity and national importance. He died in 1931, a true titan of industry and invention, leaving behind an incredible legacy that fundamentally shaped the early 20th century. Nikola Tesla, the brilliant victor of the War of Currents, found fame but not lasting fortune. He continued his visionary work, patenting the Tesla coil, pursuing wireless transmission, and even attempting his ambitious Wardenclyffe Tower project. This enormous structure was meant to be a global system for wireless power and communication, a truly grand but ultimately unfulfilled vision. But as his patents expired, financial difficulties mounted. His later years were marked by increasing reclusiveness and eccentricity. He spent his days feeding pigeons in New York City parks, growing especially fond of a specific white pigeon, which he described as his love. He died alone in a hotel room in 1943. his grandest visions largely unfulfilled or misunderstood by the world.
I love that pigeon as a man loves a woman, and she loved me.
So, who really won the war of currents? Well, it's not as simple as you might think. Today, AC is still the undisputed king of our electrical grid, powering most of our homes and businesses. It's what comes out of your wall sockets, reliably and efficiently distributed across vast distances. But direct current, Edison's champion, has had an incredible renaissance. Every computer, every smartphone, every LED light, solar panel, and electric car runs on DC. We constantly convert AC from the grid into DC at the point of use. And for transmitting electricity over very long distances, like from massive offshore wind farms or across continents, high voltage DC, HVDC, is now even more efficient than AC. The very technology Edison championed is now used to supplement the grid Tesla helped build. It's a fascinating hybrid armistice, wouldn't you say? In popular culture, Tesla is often seen as the brilliant, unrecognized genius, while Edison is sometimes painted as a greedy villain. But the truth, as always, is far more complex. Edison's practical genius gave us the first viable electrical system, the very foundation. Tesla's visionary breakthroughs gave us the grid that powers our world today. Their rivalry, though brutal, was a necessary crucible. The war of currents wasn't just a fight between two men. It was the birth pangs of our electrified world. And because of these two indispensable giants, because of their clash and their combined genius, we live in a world of constant light, instant communication, and boundless power. Their legacy continues to illuminate our lives every single day. Are you Team Edison or Team Tesla? Drop your answer in the comments and tell us why. Which inventor do you think changed the world more? If you love uncovering history's greatest rivalries, hit subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Until next time, stay curious.